Sweet.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Raise Voice podcast, the podcast made by and for the youth. I'm here. Julian's not here. I'm on my own today. It's quite sad, but obviously, you see of us in spirit. It's been a very long time since I've actually hosted a podcast, probably since like about a year now. Very, very long time. But I'm back. Just a few things before we get into it with our lovely guest here today. We have a website, raiseavoice.co.uk. That's come out this year. Big things this year. If you've been on our IG, if you've been following us, we have that. Got a new sort of series called Black Spaces. Just did an interview recently. Check that out as well. Big things coming. We want to do more things with Black Spaces, but we're trying to bide our time and get the right guests on. So just stay tuned, stay peeled for that. But obviously today, we do have, I'm going to introduce the guest now. I know you've all been waiting. It's Lucia. Lucia, how are you?
I am well.
Wait,
Thanks
right.
for having me. Yeah, you did.
Gang.
Lucia. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? I went out and I met some two girls and they were new. And anyway, it was a bit of a long story. I ended up hanging out with some people that I didn't know because I was at a party by myself.
Yeah.
And then like at some point in the night, I heard my name and they called me like Luciana or something like that. I was like, damn, like you really butchered my name. But yeah, it is Lucia.
Nah, gang, but we got Lucia here. We're going to get her to tell us a bit more about herself later on. But yeah, first of all, we're going to start off. I was actually thinking about changing like the interview format, like the Raise a Voice form, the iconic Raise a Voice format. But the more I looked at it, I actually was like, you know what, this format still holds out today. Even after all these years, from year 12 days, I'm getting on now.
It works.
It still works. So we're going to start with the good, the bad, the boring. We're going to start with asking, like, how's your week been?
My week, how has it been? You
Decent.
know what? It has been. It feels like it's been a bit of a blur, to be honest. Because even when I think about what I've done, I think I've been out a lot this week, actually.
Been doing stuff. Active.
Yeah. You know what? I've been active this whole summer.
Yeah.
I've been outside.
What's the best thing that's happened this summer?
Probably selling out my event.
Jeez.
Yeah, happening on Thursday. Yeah,
Gang.
probably that is. And also, I think the concerts I've been to as well, because I've been to quite a few concerts.
Which ones?
Been to Burner. I think that was the best concert I went to. And that's mad for me to say, because I also went to Beyonce as well.
You like Burner more than Beyonce?
I don't...
I know where your loyalty
No,
is lying
Beyonce
now.
has
say
my
no more,
heart.
Say no more. You're gonna get some people.
Beyonce has my heart forever. Like, she's Beyonce, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the Burner concert was just lit, and I like enjoyment, and that was serious enjoyment. So I've been to that one. I went to Ari Lennox and Cleo Soul.
Damn, alright,
So,
that's well.
yeah.
Bro, that's one thing. I need to go to more concerts. I've been deep now. I'm like, you know,
Nah.
I'm a big music guy as well.
I kind of like fell into concerts this year. It wasn't my plan. I didn't say, oh yeah, I'm going to be like going to concerts this year, but kind of just happened. And yeah, it's my thing.
What's the most uninteresting thing that's happened in the past week?
Ooh, uninteresting.
Bro, the good, bad, the boring.
What
man.
day is it right now? It's Sunday.
It's Sunday the 13th. Keeping it transparent with you guys.
Uninteresting. Maybe yesterday, because all I did was sleep because I've been out. I haven't been sleeping properly. Yeah. Yeah. I was very tired. I needed to. Yeah.
Bro, for me, I didn't even know. I've been good. I had a good week.
Love that.
I've had a good weekend. Last weekend, I went out yesterday. I went to like a conference sort of thing.
Nice. What was it for?
It was like a medics thing.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, so all black medics.
Cool.
Shout them out there. It was good. And bro, the week I've just been chilling. The whole summer I've been chilling, bro.
It's good to chill.
I've been in bed. I've been watching anime. I've just been relaxing. So
it's good to you.
No work, but it's been good. Boring. I don't know, bro. I've said before. I'm tired of trains and at Thameslink. I'm gonna have a falling out. Like getting here was a madness. Anyone who's been on Thameslink, sort out your trains. That's all I'm gonna say. In it, like I've been blessed with trains because I live in Essex. Greater Anglia is where my heart is, but I'm gonna get major anxiety. Like it triggered a lot of things in me today.
I'm sad.
But that's what I can think of at the moment. I say we get straight into the interview.
Let's go.
So, where do I even start? You know, let's start with this. Yeah, how are you like in terms of like your mental health at the moment?
Ooh, love that question. How am I? I'm good, but I'm also overwhelmed. I think a lot's going on.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to think about.
Expand.
I think I'm in a space where like good things are happening.
Yeah.
Good things are happening, and it's like, okay, cool. I also have to think about, okay, cool. How am I going to keep this up? How am I going to keep consistent? Because so much has happened in the past few years where like good things will happen, and then it's like something bad will happen, and I'm just not able to carry on or things like that. And I'm in a space where I feel like I can handle things a lot better. So I think I'm overwhelmed by the fact that firstly I've got an event that there's stuff that needs to get done. But also, how am I going to keep this up? How am I going to keep this momentum? And also like the pressure of like trying to envision what does the future look like? Because for a very long time I wasn't able to see very far. So right now it's like, okay, I'm starting to see, but it's also like it's a scary process.
Yeah, no, let's expand on that. In terms of like you said, the vision was hard to see. Let's turn it back a bit. So talk about like, wow, where did it all start for you?
Where did it all
like in terms of people who might be seeing you for the first time, like.
So where did it all start? So a lot of what I do like stems from like my love of poetry, and I fell in love with poetry when I was like in year 8. My teacher showed me this video and poem that George the Poet did.
Shout out George the Poet.
No, shout out him.
Gang.
And I just thought he was sick, and I was like, oh, I want to do this too. And it was a way for me to express myself. So in 2016, when I was like 15, I woke up one day feeling like I wasn't doing enough. Sounds so cliche, like, why were you thinking about that when you were a kid? But yeah, I genuinely felt that way, and I made like this Snapchat story ranting about like how like, guys, if I started something now, imagine where I could be, and like all of this kind of stuff. So after that I was like, okay, I need to do something. So yeah, I created something called Simplest Talks, and our aim at the time was to inspire, empower, showcase talent, and tell powerful stories. And from 2017 to 2019 we did a bunch of events. We had a podcast. And the events would consist of like speakers, poets, musicians, panel discussions on a range of stuff. And it was youth-led for us, like for young people. And yeah, that was really cool. But in 2019, I ended up losing my stepdad. And that was just like a very transformative moment for me. And it made me lose a lot of who I was and like a lot of confidence. And I lost my voice. Like I couldn't speak up as much as I was, which was just very different for me because that just wasn't me. I couldn't recognize myself. So yeah, so we were gonna do an event in 2020, but then COVID came.
COVID ruined a lot of things, man.
COVID ruined a lot of things. But yeah, so that didn't happen. And then like I was going through this battle of like not facing my grief, not taking time for me, but also like the high achieving part of me that is like, yo, there's things you need to do. There's, you know? And like when I reflect, I think I felt like I wasn't moving and everyone else was. That's genuinely what, it's like life carried on for everyone and I was still stuck in like August 2019. I don't think it was part of me wants to say it wasn't true because you have to give yourself grace. Like you went through something tough and you went through something tough and like those tough moments really do stretch you and grow you. Like I do believe like unfortunate things do make you who you are and make you stronger. You don't have to go through them, but if they happen, they do that for you. So in that sense, I don't think I didn't move. However, on the other sense, like a realistic side of me kind of wants to say that, no, I had to pause. Like I had to stop. And like, I think also like when someone passes away, you can like, it have like in our culture, for example, I'm Ugandan, people come home for like a couple weeks before the funeral and stuff, and then once it's done, no one's there anymore. So it reminds you that like you're in, like this is something you are quote unquote alone in, not actually, but like it really is you in this that is feeling all of this, and everyone else has to just get on with their lives. So in that sense, it didn't feel like I was moving, because for so long it felt like I was still in August 2019 and everyone else was moving and doing and I couldn't do. So I think there's two sides to it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say, like, they use the word like you're stuck in like limbo, innit? Would you say that you was probably like stuck in? Because I've experienced like being just like in a space where it feels like just time has just stopped for me. I'm not moving forward, but like everyone else is. But maybe it's, and sometimes I think, is it just social media? Making me think like, oh, because for that, I think it's important so people know that everyone's going through different things, different
100%.
times. Even though people, like you said, that sort of like the imagery of like the funeral and everyone going away. But everyone's going away, but everyone's got their own thoughts and maybe thinking things. But yeah, no, I do definitely think it is like that sort of half and half thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, talk to you a bit about like the Connect as like an event and sort of like how that sort of stemmed about, because you said you started Simplest Talks, but then like that bridge, that gap between like the two different brands.
So Simplest Talks was around up until like early this year. So the end of last year, so actually I took a break from uni last year. I studied politics and international relations. So I took a break in my second year because really and truly, and this is my advice to any young person that is like having to think about uni and things like that, I think it's so key to analyze where you're at and also be real with yourself that like these are very huge decisions, life-changing decisions that you're about to make. So make them with caution and make them knowing that you're going to live with the consequences of your actions. And I do think like if I could go back, I wouldn't have gone straight into uni. I think I needed a break. But that break came when it came. And that was in my second year. So I took that break. And then, so coming back into uni, because I had to retake because I had to stop in the middle of the year. I said to myself that, I was terrified. I was so scared to go back to uni because I wasn't going with anyone I know. All my friends were like on placement. And just like, can I do this? Like so much has happened where like I've struggled and found things difficult. Can I get through? But I had to just face it. Like, and I think one thing that has really helped me is just like building my relationship with God and just walking with him through it. So I went back to uni. I said to myself, listen, you're not going to go to this place and no one's going to know you. You're going to make sure people know you, and you're going to, let's see if we can rebuild Simplest Talks or get back into the flow of things, you know what I mean? So I did just that. I was just everywhere, met as many people as I could, and I started to learn that like I really do enjoy the creative scene. And it made sense because I am a creative person. Like I love music, like I sing, like I love performing, used to write poetry, so it made a lot of sense. So towards the end of the last year, I created the Connect, and it was at the time powered by Simplest Talks, and our plan was to go to different universities and put on events for creatives at uni. So our first event was in Canterbury at the University of Kent in March this year, 2023. And yeah, it was a success. Like 100+ people came. I achieved the aim of like connecting people. And I'm so passionate about networking and human connection, where that can take you. So that really did work out. So after that event, I started thinking a bit more and started to realize that Simplest Talks doesn't align with where I'm at. I think I've grown up. I'm not the 15-year-old Lucia anymore. There's elements of it, like especially the part where it's like the impact is key to me. But yeah, so I started to realize the Connect aligns with me a lot more. So we changed the name to the Connect, and we're all about human connection, networking, vibing, having fun, partying. But like everything we do really is at the core of it is connection and supporting and working with creatives. So yeah, that's how the Connect came about. Yeah,
Okay.
it feels like it's meant to be because it just feels like growth. Yeah, to have got into this space. Yeah.
So you said like the Connect's main thing is like the creative scene sort of thing,
Yeah.
in terms of building it together. You said yourself like you sing, you're a big fan of music and that stuff. What are your thoughts in terms of like the creative scene as a whole and like where the Connect fits into that? So why it's so important for the Connect to sort of exist in that space?
I think it's important it exists because I think we're really big on creating a safe space. I think the industry isn't always the nicest, the sweetest. And I'm just like, I'd like to say I'm a lovely person. So anything I create or I'm involved in, I want to make sure everyone feels that energy and is involved in that energy. So that's partly why. But I also want it to be like a hub for creatives where you can find amazing upcoming photographers, videographers, musicians, other people doing events. Anything creative, I want people to come to us and find that. And also just find a community. I'm really big on community and what that does for people. So we want to have important conversations for sure. Talk about the reality of being a creative, but we also want to have fun and make it a safe and like fun space for people to be in. So yeah.
So guys, if you're a creative and you're listening to this right now,
Yes.
The day right now is the 13th.
It is.
I'm going to try and get this out before when it's on the 17th, isn't it?
Yeah, on Thursday.
Thursday 17th.
Good
what
luck.
Time? What time?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're creative, it's a big event.
It is.
Especially for community as well.
It is.
Talking about like community. Actually, let's circle back actually. In terms of like the Connect, like what is like, because you talked about your vision. Talk about your vision for Connect.
My vision for the Connect. I see us being a space that doesn't just exist in the UK or in just London. Like I think since I was young, I've always thought quite global and always known that like anything I do is bigger than where I am, and I want people to feel that impact wherever I go. So I do want us to travel around the UK, but also, God willing, like around the world. That's what I see for us. I see us being a lot more consistent in events because events really is a passion of mine. Like even on like outside of the Connect, I do want to start like producing events for other people. And yeah, as I said, I want it to be a hub for creatives where they can find, for creatives, but also for friends, like anyone who needs a creative, because we're needed. Like there's a lot of value in us, and there's a lot of things that like people who might not feel they're creative might need us for. So yeah, that's what I foresee right now. But I do understand, and I'm open to the fact that like I'm still figuring shit out. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still like my eyes are, I'm still trying to like see where else my eyes can go. So yeah.
Gang, I wanted to talk about that. You were saying a lot about creatives. I want to talk about the creative takeback.
Yeah.
Because me myself, I'm a med student. I wouldn't consider myself a creative, so and so, but you yourself, you do politics. Is it politics?
Yeah.
And you consider yourself creative. A lot of people nowadays going to uni, maybe doing academic courses, but in reality, like there's always like a sort of side hustle culture, that sort of thing where there's always something on the side people are doing, and it's sort of like that branch sort of allows people to sort of be themselves.
100.
Talk to me a bit about like that for you, and like because you've been doing the Simplest Talks and the Connect, seeing so many people hands on, meeting so many new people. Because me myself, I'm interested. How is like, how do I explain this? Like, in terms of the people you meet, who are like similar to our age and stuff, how is that sort of mentality like? And do you like aspire to look up to people who are doing different things?
I think when it comes, I think it's really interesting, like how, like even when I look back at the event we had in Canterbury, obviously with uni students, people studying various courses, but them still having these passions outside of it. I think there's a lot of like power in like people allowing themselves to express who they are, doing what they love, and them giving themselves that permission is really cool to see. Yeah, and also you saying that like you don't feel like you're that creative, like you do a podcast, raise a voice, like that is creating. Do you know what I mean? So I always have these conversations with people who don't feel as creative. Like there's certain ways we express ourselves, and I just do feel like we all have creative bones in our body. It's just we express them differently, and they don't always have to be like a side hustle. Like, do you know what I mean? It can genuinely be a hobby or something that is yours and only yours. But yeah, I don't know if that answers the question.
No, it does definitely. Yeah, because especially like everyone feels like something has to be a side hustle now. When in reality, your niche or your hobby or whatever it is can just be for you.
100.
And I think what's important as well, the reason why I asked that question is because, say you, for instance, you're hosting the event, I feel like no one really, everyone focuses on, say, the person at the event and their takeaways, but no one looks at the person who actually hosts the event, their takeaways. So like your takeaways from like your own events, like what have the main takeaways been from like your own events in terms of the people you've met? Like when you do your events, what do you hope to get out of it yourself? I think no one really asks about that.
Yeah, good one. I think what I like to take out, like I really enjoy like having a vision for something and it coming together. It's very fulfilling, and I think I like that, especially when it comes to events, like all the planning and then it actually happens and then people enjoy it and like people have these takeaways from it and this impact is created. It's just very like, it does something for my heart. So I think that's one thing. I also like, deep down, I really am a performer at heart. Very true to myself, very genuine for sure. But like, I feel like the events I do allow me to step into my performance bag and like show up as who I truly am. So as much as it is for like uplifting the great talent we have in the scene and all of that kind of stuff, it really is, it does something for my heart, like seeing stuff come together, people feeling the impact and people like us achieving the aim, and also just a chance to hold a mic and like
just speak for yourself.
Definitely.
What are your thoughts on the mentality that, because there's a lot of things like singing, music, dance, acting, what was that feeling where if you're not the best at what you're doing, then you failed? Or that sort of thing where every sort of niche is like a rat race? Like, what are your thoughts on that mentality?
A part of me wants to say that like it's key that you focus on you. I think we always hear this conversation of like comparison is the thief of joy and all of that kind of stuff. And I also think you need to think about like, what is this rooted in? Like what I'm doing, like what is that rooted in? Is it rooted in this genuinely is a passion of mine, this is something that feeds my soul? Or is it rooted in I need to be better than other people? I think operating in that space is dangerous. I don't know. Maybe there are examples of it working for some people, but I don't think it works all the time. So I think really like figuring out what you do, what your passion is rooted in is key, and what your why is. Like, why do you do what you do? And like really trying to focus on you, because comparison happens. I think we're human beings. We look at people, and in this day and age, social media, like everything's in our face. We're gonna see people doing other things. So, but I think it's about managing those feelings that come from that, and reminding yourself why you do what you do, and what it's rooted in. So,
What's your why?
my why, I always say that my mission in life is to make an impact and be effective in people's lives. So yeah, that's my why. Like that's why, yeah, it really is making impact. Yeah.
Nice. Talk to you about building your brand, because you've been building your brand for a very long time since you were, how old are you now? You're
15, so I'm 21 now.
21,
Like
so 6 years.
Yeah.
That extended period of time, talk about like the positives, but also maybe some negatives in that, in terms of you sort of overcoming adversity, getting to where you are today. Because obviously there must have been maybe some roadblocks along the way.
100%.
Talk to you about persevering. Was it important that you did persevere, or yeah?
I think it was very important I persevered. I think there was always something inside me that was like, you can't let go. Because there were many moments. I didn't have to be here right now. I really don't have to be like doing what I'm doing. After a lot of the stuff I've gone through, there's been moments where I really could have just stopped and said, like, forget about this. I can't do it no more. But there's always been like this feeling inside that like I like this too much. Like as much as I don't know what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna get back up, I need to find a way. That's always been there for me, and that's how I know I am walking in my purpose. I'm not completely... I'm clear on what my purpose is, I think. But like not completely clear on how I'm going to achieve my purpose. I think this is just one of the ways I think I'm clear on that. But what other negatives? I think like just I think it's having to get back up quite a few times. Like having to be knocked down by something and find that courage to just stand up again. So yeah, that. But positives, the question is like positives about building my brand.
Building yourself, but building a brand for an extended period of time.
Yes. Yeah. I think I have experience. Yeah, I have experience. I know certain tricks that work to get what I want. Yeah. I think, and I think like time has allowed me to like develop my confidence in stuff and all of that kind of thing. And I think I've been able to build networks from the age of 15. I've been able to build relationships with people. So yeah, and it's interesting right now because there's a lot of people that don't know my story, don't know that like I've been doing stuff. This isn't just the beginning. So that's why I'm very excited for this event on Thursday, because I just need to give people a history lesson quickly. Like this ain't the beginning. Like we've been here. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Would you say that you found your niche?
You know, I'm so intrigued by this niche word, because sometimes I question whether it's something that right now or ever I will ever get clear on. And I bet there will be people that don't like me saying this, because even recently someone said to me like, oh, I need to get clear. Like, but I feel like that just stemmed from them. You just don't understand what is going on. That's just it. I do think niches are great and they work 100%. I think if we are to look at the Connect and what the niche is, it is the creative scene. What we do specifically, we do events. We're going to start doing like producing content on social media. So I guess there is kind of a niche there. Yeah. But I think like there is like a niche police, I feel like, in this world. Like honestly, that that just don't want people to do whatever they want to do. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna express myself, and my team is gonna express themselves through the Connect however they want to, and we're gonna do it smart in a way that works for sure. But like, the niche word, sometimes I'm like, do I even like that word? Like, I feel like it works 100%, but I also feel like some people use it against people to limit them, and I don't have time for that.
No, I get it. Because even as someone who's heard that word a lot, I get why it's used, but
100%.
as someone, because I think it depends on what you're doing, because say if you're trying to start like a business or something like that, sometimes it's like the niche can be a bit closed-minded in terms of that sort of way of using it. But in other ways, because the way I view my niche is like, I don't like calling it that. It's more of a thing where what we do, our like uniqueness is ourselves. So ourselves being who we are, we've never had to worry about unique selling points or like niche or anything like that, because we just upload ourselves. So there's only one us. So, so it's like that sort of thing where it's like, oh, like you have to be doing something like this or like this, like this. It's like,
and you have to stick to that. That's my problem.
Yeah, actually, I don't really care. Like,
I think it's good to focus on what you're good at and what you enjoy. But I also encourage people to do just that. Do what you enjoy.
I think people don't realise at this age as well, 18 to 20, that sort of young age, you always
figuring stuff out.
You always adapt. Yeah, you're always
100.
adapting. You're always adapting.
Yeah.
So even in terms of Raise the Voice, we've been doing it for 3 years now, and it's constantly they're changing and adapting in terms of
and you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, how we are, and you may say that's maybe like hindered our growth as a platform, but we don't really care because it's what we want to do. So it's one of those things where at the age you are, sometimes people aren't, don't box yourself in. Don't box yourself in.
I think find balance. Don't just I'm big on getting clear on what you enjoy. Get clear on it, but don't let anyone box you. Yeah. Don't force that. Do what you want.
I think this might be the final question. So talk to me about like sixth form and like how in transition to university life and like mainly like your school life and how that's been.
Yeah.
And how the culture and like the environments influence you.
Sixth form, I stayed up my sixth form, my high school for sixth form.
Yeah.
First year was cool. Year 12 was calm. Yeah, I studied psychology, history, and RE. Really liked RE. History, didn't enjoy it that much. Like I enjoyed it in GCSE, but A level,
screw history, man. Anyone took history? Don't chat to me.
Yeah, it was tough. I can't lie.
GCSE as well.
No, GCSE loved it.
Don't give it
that was my highest grade as well. So I was glad with that.
Fair play.
However, year 13 was tough because my stepdad had died, and I went straight in. It was a very tough year, and it was very tough because like I was dealing with a lot. My mental health wasn't great at all, and it was hard because, as I said, like I'm a high achiever, and then it's like others. Ooh, damn! I'm so sorry.
That's cool.
And then like stuff is happening outside. Stuff is happening, and it just is showing me that like life is bigger than like just like education and like these things that we put so much effort in But yeah, how did sixth form? Like, I love my school. I even still call it my school, because we were a new school that opened in 2013. We were the first year. I feel like my teachers loved me. They still do, and like that school really impacted who I am today. There's a lot of lessons that I've learned from that school. So, sixth form was tough, but got through. And in the transition to uni. Don't listen to these teachers that say, "Oh, uni's easier." It's not easier. Like, I don't know why they lied to us about that. It's so funny to me.
It's not bad, bro.
you have time,
You got time in it.
but then you have time, but it's also yours to manage. That's the thing.
If you can manage time, it's calm.
Yeah. But yeah, uni first year. Obviously, I started in COVID, so it wasn't really a year. And then the second year I did wasn't really a year. But this second year I've like completed was amazing. Like, I feel like it's what I wanted uni to be. I remember being younger and always saying like, I'm going to go to uni and I'm going to meet so many people and do all these cool things. So I would definitely have been able to meet new people and put myself out there.
Yep.
Like academically done well.
Yep.
And yeah, I've felt like a uni student this year. Yeah.
Compared to last year.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because COVID and like life, it just, But this second year, great. Loved it. Met a lot of cool people in there. Yeah.
Would you say like the culture at uni sort of shaped you making the connect, or would you say you were always going to do what was going to make it? Like in terms of
that's a good question. I'm trying to think if like what made me feel like I would. You know what? Yeah, I think I was meeting people and started to realize there are creatives here. And I was like, let me do something with this. And let me act on this. And I think it was a smart thing to do because it's uni. Everyone wants to be doing cool stuff like that. And nothing like that was happening. So yeah, it just made a lot of sense. So I think it did contribute. My experience did contribute to making the connect for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. We love being like, I like that, like practicalness.
Yeah.
Like you're going to go in, you know what, you see something, you're like,
what can I do about this?
There's a space for this.
Right.
Let me just add this here.
Exactly.
Add something, add spice to the pot.
Exactly.
And just let it brew.
100%.
Gang. Okay. We're going to get into a quiz.
Cool. Love that. I'm scared.
We do quizzes here.
Damn.
This is what I've been, if you see me looking I was looking down at my phone. I've been moderating this quiz, trying to make it as hard as possible. So we call it the Julu Corner because obviously Julian is first 2 letters of his name and Alaulu the last 2 letters of my name. Julu Corner. And normally we have like, you know, super hard questions and all this stuff.
Okay.
And we make it really funny for us and not so funny for the viewer.
Okay.
This time we're going to do like an actual themed thing.
Okay, nice.
It's called Instagram followers.
Ooh.
So you have, how many Instagram accounts do you have?
2.
2. Okay.
3?
I think you have quite a few actually.
Yeah, I have 3.
So I want you to guess how many Instagram followers you have.
Okay.
On each of your accounts.
Okay, I think I can get this.
But also we're going to add a couple more accounts.
Okay.
Into the mix as well.
Damn.
So we're going to start with the Connect. How many followers does the Connect have on Instagram? The
Connect has 1,150. Actually, it might be different right now.
This is a joke.
It might not be a 50 right now, you know. Now I'm gonna say 1,154. What? Am I wrong?
You see, it was wrong. She didn't know how many followers the Connect have.
Damn.
You undid yourself. It's more than that.
What is it?
1,164.
Okay. I was so close to doing the 60, but I was like, nah.
So that's minus 1 point.
Damn.
Yeah, we minus points in this.
That's
you don't
crazy.
Play around. I think the lowest one we've had is like minus 10. Shout out Isaac. Because there were questions he should have got. Like,
really?
Actually, I might ask you one of them, the ones that he should have got.
Okay.
Because it gets bad. Okay, how many followers do you have on your main account?
1,000.
Yeah.
900.
Yeah.
And 26.
Because you're in between 2, it was 1,924.
Damn.
So I'll give you that.
Some people been unfollowing me. That's why.
You can't like you need to check some guys, man.
Yeah, I need to.
For I remember when I was in like year 9, I used to download the app like Instagram.
Yeah, you know
unfollow us
what?
app.
I need to do that soon. I just because me, I don't like following people that aren't following me back. What's
Bro,
that about?
I can't lie. Nah,
You should remove me. They've got that thing you can do now. So.
these days, I'm good now. But back in the day, okay, how many followers does Raise the Voice have on Instagram?
500.
Yeah.
And 34.
Nah.
What?
5, 6, 7. In order.
I'm
5,
so
6,
sorry.
7. No, it's
Should
fine.
have thought bigger.
No, it's cool. You're sorry in it, but you get minus a point, so it's calm in it. -1 points. Okay, how many followers does Instagram have?
Instagram.
Yeah, like the main account, Instagram account.
16 million.
How many did you say?
16 million.
Do you want to retract the answer? I'll give you a second chance
Damn.
because that was embarrassing. No, it's cool.
What
innit?
was it?
I'll do it again. It's calm in it.
Oh no.
It's not looking good for Lucia,
this
guys.
Is so
It's not looking good for
difficult.
Lucia, guys. I'll be honest with you.
Can you give me a clue?
It's a lot bigger than that.
Really?
Yeah, a lot bigger than that.
500 million.
It was 651 million. If you got 600, I would have given you maybe like half a point.
Damn.
Because your original, what was your original one?
16.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and
I'm
you
gonna
gave
give
me a clue
you.
as well.
I'm gonna give you -4 points for that. That was embarrassing.
That is wild.
You're -5
No,
out of
you
5.
must hate me. That is wild.
No, listen. This is heritage. This is Raise the Voice heritage, man. We don't care. And how many questions has that been? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's been 4. I'm gonna give you the one that it might have been Alex. You messed this up. How many countries are in Africa?
Sugar. 54. Did I get it right? Listen.
Yo, wait.
Serious African.
The man didn't know that
right?
question. Yeah, come outside. I know
No,
who you
100.
are.
If you don't know,
Certain
that's
man didn't know.
terrible.
I can't lie. The fact that I want to give you extra points for that.
Thank you.
I want to give you extra points.
Thank you, and the quickness as well.
I'm gonna bump you to like a -2.
Okay, thanks.
A humble -2.
Appreciate that.
I think we'll leave it at that. You know,
Amazing. Thank you so much.
-2 out of 5. It's decent. Are you on the leaderboard? Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
love that.
It's been a few years. We need to update. I'm gonna get Julia to update the leaderboard. But yeah, gang. Normally we have like a Raise a Voice segment, so we get people to sort of like, I put a question on our Instagram and people can type in,
Oh, okay, nice.
and say stuff. I don't care about you guys enough today, so I didn't.
Sorry, guys. That's him, not me. I did not say that. I care about you guys.
I didn't put it up today. But yeah, no, because I thought mainly like this interview would take up the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's all. That's all.
Amazing.
Thank you, Lucia, for coming on.
Thank you.
This has been great.
You guys should follow me.
Yeah.
on
Oh yeah. Okay.
Instagram.
We're gonna give you like your little. Love doing this. All your Instagrams because we missed that one. You have a podcast, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can follow me on Instagram at Life or Simply Lucia. You can follow the Connect at the Connect __.
Gang.
And you can follow the Get Real With podcast at Get Real With Pod on Instagram.
Gang. Anything else?
No, that's all good.
Gang. And
Thank you guys.
like I said, Black Spaces, it's coming through. It's sick. We got some new YouTube stuff coming in the next end of August, start of September. We've got a lot of YouTube videos coming. And yeah, we're chilling, always adapting, always moving stuff on. Expect big things coming up in the future. 2023, it's been like a
Good year.
It's been all right.
It's been all right.
It's been all right. Me
Not too
personally,
bad.
it's been a bit mid. I'll be honest.
Hear it. Gets like that. We have those years.
I miss 21. I miss 2021. 2021 was my prime year.
Really?
Yeah, I'm holding on to that.
You know what? Maybe this might be my prime year. You know?
I love that for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I love
Appreciate that.
Me personally, I need 2021 vibes back, man.
Damn.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're listening, Spotify, all that stuff. Thanks for reading because we're going to be uploading the article as well. And yeah, peace out.
Bye, guys.
Stay positive. Stay happy. Raise a voice.